Students, welcome to our online classes. Myself Kiran Pandey. We had started chapter 4 from civics class ninth, working of institution. So this is part 2 from the same chapter. In the previous class we already discussed about the office memorandum, meaning of work institutions, how institutions work for our country, office memorandum and Mandal Commission. So in this module we will discuss about the three branches of government: legislature, executive and judiciary, and also we will discuss about the parliament and the two houses of parliament, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. So let's start today's module. Branches of government. Government is further divided into three parts: legislature, executive and judiciary. So legislature, in India there are three important political institutions: legislative, that is also known as parliament, executive and judiciary. Legislative is responsible for making of laws. Executive is responsible for implementation of laws, and judiciary is responsible for settling the disputes and for providing justice to the people of a country. Or judiciary is also responsible for checking rules are following or not. So legislative includes prime minister, cabinet minister, and these take all the important policy decisions. Executive includes civil servants working together, are responsible for taking steps to implement the minister's decision. And judiciary, Supreme Court, is an institution where disputes between citizens and government are finally settled. So these are the three branches of government. Legislature is responsible for making of laws, and executive is responsible for implementation of laws, and judiciary checks how checks laws are implementing or not. So the power is separated between three parts: legislative, executive and judiciary. Look at this flow chart, students. This flow chart shows how these three branches work together. Now why do we need parliament? The parliament includes the executive branch of India, and the parliament exercises political authority on behalf of the people in many ways. So why do we need a parliament? Parliament is the final authority for making law in any country. So it makes a law. It can also change existing law or abolish existing law or make new ones. So parliament is responsible for making new laws, for abolishing existing laws, for changing existing laws or for making new laws. Parliament control over those who run the government. So no decision can be taken without the support of parliament. That's why parliament is very important. And parliament also controls the matters. How? Because ordinary bill, money bill, will only pass when it goes through parliament. Parliament is the highest forum of discussion and debate on public issues and national policies in country. It can seek information about any matter. So parliament is the highest platform of discussion and debate on public issues. If lots of peoples were discussing about any issue, it will create a good decision for a country. So there are two houses of parliament, Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. So let's understand about Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. In Lok Sabha, members of Lok Sabha are directly elected by the eligible voters, and members of Rajya Sabha are elected by the elected members. The period of Lok Sabha is 5 years, and Rajya Sabha is a permanent body. One third of its members retired every 2 years. So the maximum strength of in Lok Sabha is 552 and in Rajya Sabha 250 members. Money bill cannot be introduced in Lok Sabha. It can grant the money for running. Sorry, money bill can only be introduced in Lok Sabha. So the Rajya Sabha does not exercises much power over money bills, and Lok Sabha is more powerful than Rajya Sabha, and Rajya Sabha is less powerful than Lok Sabha. So money bill is responsible. Lok Sabha is responsible for grants money for running the administration of country. The period of Lok Sabha is 5 year and Rajya Sabha is a permanent body. The maximum strength is 552 and 250 members. So this is how we discriminate between Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. These are the two houses of parliament. Functions of parliament. How parliament works. An ordinary bill, both on ordinary bill, both houses have equal power. In a case of deadlock, a joint sitting of both houses is called where Lok Sabha has numerical majority. So जब भी ऑर्डिनरी बिल होता है तो दोनों हाउसेस के पास सेम पावर होती है. और डेडलॉक अगर मान लीजिए किसी भी बिल पे एक हाउस एग्री नहीं है तो उसके लिए जॉइंट सिटिंग होती है दोनों बोथ हाउसेस की. वहाँ पे लोकसभा की जो होती है मेजॉरिटी वो न्यूमेरिकल होती है, ज़्यादा लोकसभा के मेंबर्स होते हैं. ऑन मैनी मैटर्स लोकसभा enjoys more powerful power than राज्यसभा एंड राज्यसभा कैन डिले इट ओनली बाय 14 days. कोई भी बिल है तो वो राज्यसभा से 14 days तक ही डिले कर सकता है. लोकसभा कंट्रोल्स द काउंसिल ऑफ मिनिस्टर्स through no confidence motion and Rajya Sabha does not have this power. So Lok Sabha council of ministers को control करती है through confidence motion, but Rajya Sabha के पास ये power नहीं है. Now what are permanent executive and political executive? So in a democratic country, executive that is elected by the people for a specific period is called political executive. And the people who are appointed on a long-term basis are called permanent executives. So in a democratic country, executive that are elected by people for a specific period. For example, the political leaders, MLAs, all these are included in पॉलिटिकल एग्जीक्यूटिव. वो एग्जीक्यूटिव जिन्हें डायरेक्टली इलेक्ट किया जाता है फॉर फ्यू पीरियड ऑफ टाइम, एक टाइम पीरियड के लिए, एक स्पेसिफिक टाइम पीरियड के लिए जब हम किसी को इलेक्ट करते हैं, दैट इज नोन एज पॉलिटिकल एग्जीक्यूटिव्स. फॉर एग्जाम्पल आवर पॉलिटिकल लीडर्स, आवर प्राइम मिनिस्टर, आवर चीफ मिनिस्टर, गवर्नर, and the people who are appointed on a long term basis are called the permanent executives or civil servants. सो द पीपल्स जो क्या कहते हैं लॉन्ग टर्म के लिए जिनको अपॉइंट किया जाता है दैट आर नोन एज परमानेंट एग्जीक्यूटिव्स. और इसमें कौन इंट्रोड्यूस होता है? IAS, इंडियन एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव सर्विसेज, गवर्नमेंट ऑफिसर्स जो गवर्नमेंट एम्प्लॉयज़ हैं. और ये इनको अपॉइंट कौन करता है? इनको अपॉइंट गवर्नमेंट करती है. So this is how we discriminate about political executive and permanent executive. The different level of government, the functionaries take day-to-day decision but do not exercise supreme power on behalf of people. And these functions are called executive because they are in charge of execution of policies of the government. And these executives are divided into two parts, political and permanent, in which permanent are appointed by officers on a long period of time, and political executives are elected by people for a specific period of time. So this is all about today's topic. Thank you, students. Stay home.